Hello, I'm Rok and I visited one of the most beautiful and historical cities on Adriatic coast, Split. In this video, I would like to explain what you need to know before you visit the biggest Croatian coastal city. First, I'll explain what to expect from Split. Second, I'm gonna talk about safety and language.
Zdravo.
Then I will present best ways to get to Split. Next, I'm gonna focus on the best accommodation location for exploring the city. Then I will talk about transport system and how to get around. And in the end, I will give you some tips and ideas that might help you if you decide to visit amazing Split. When area of Split was conquered by the Romans, they named it the province of Dalmatia. Roman Emperor Diocletian, who ruled the world between years 284 and 305, fell in love with the area and decided to build himself a massive retirement palace on a beautiful peninsula known today as Split. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire, the palace was abandoned for almost 2 centuries. In 600s, the nearby Roman city was invaded and the citizens fled to the abandoned Diocletian palace, where within its walls they built the city of Split. Since then, Split changed hands many times. From Byzantine Empire, Kingdom of Hungary, to the Kingdom of Croatia and to the Venetian Republic. At that time, Split became an important port to supply trade routes to the Ottoman-held interior. Then came Napoleon, and after him Austrians. At the end of the First World War, the Austro-Hungarian Empire broke up and Split became part of Kingdom of Yugoslavia. After the Second World War, Split became part of the communist Yugoslavia and saw great industrial and economic growth, particularly in shipbuilding. In 1991, Croatia declared independence from Yugoslavia and Split became part of the newly formed country of Croatia. Today, Split is a major transport hub. Most of the central Dalmatian islands are only reachable via Split harbor. In recent years, Split is also becoming an attractive holiday destination and a major cruise ship destination, since its historic city center is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Split was also one of the filming locations for the famous TV series The Game of Thrones. The city is also one of the centers of Croatian culture, with festivals like Split Music Festival, Split Summer Theatre Festival and other popular events. A special place in the hearts of Split people belongs to their athletes. Local people like to call Split as the sportiest city in the world, and its soccer club Hajduk is one of the most popular clubs in Croatia. Split is regarded to be a safe city where you should feel perfectly safe. Mugging and kidnapping risks are low and public transport is safe. The risk of terrorist attack is also very low. Split has low rate of violent crimes, although there has been a shooting incident in the tourist area in 2020. But that incident was part of domestic violence and wasn't aimed at tourists. Otherwise, street violence is rare and there is no particular problem with pickpocketing. A fair warning is in place when it rains, as smooth paved stones in the historic city center get slippery when wet. Also make sure not to say anything bad about Split soccer club Hajduk, as people can get very passionate about it. The official language spoken in Split is Croatian, but local population speaks a dialect called Dalmatian. English is the most common foreign language in Split and is widely spoken. You should have no trouble using English in hotels, stores, restaurants, at popular sites and for using services. Other frequently used foreign languages are also German and Italian. Split is one of the most important transport hubs on Adriatic coast. The port of Split, with its 4 million passengers per year, is the third busiest port in the entire Mediterranean. It's only 10 or 15-minute walk away from the historic city center. Port is connecting various Dalmatian islands and is also connected with some Italian ports. One way you can reach Split is by ferry or private boat. Split Airport is the second largest in Croatia, with year-round connections to many European cities. Airport is located about 20 kilometers or 13 miles from the city. There is a shuttle bus connection between the Split Airport and the main bus station in the city center. Buses from Split Airport depart soon after the aircraft landing, and the bus ride takes about 30 minutes. The main bus station is right across the ferry terminal, or about 10 to 15-minute walk from the historic city center. Buses from the main bus station are also connecting Split with almost all Croatian cities. If you want to get to Split from the capital city Zagreb, you can use Highway A1 that takes about 4 hours by car. There are also many buses available, including night buses. Train is another option with several departures per day, but it is the slowest as it takes about 6 hours. It's also possible to fly between the two cities, as Croatia Airlines has several daily flights. If you want to get to Split from another famous city, Dubrovnik, your best bet is to use one of the numerous daily buses. Driving takes about 4.5 hours and includes crossing into Bosnia and Herzegovina, while the bridge, designed to connect the Croatian mainland with its southernmost region of Dubrovnik, should be finished by mid-2021. There is also a fast catamaran running from June to September that connects Split and Dubrovnik. Direct flights from Split to Dubrovnik are running twice a week. Split is the second largest city in Croatia and the largest city in the region of Dalmatia, with about 200,000 people. Modern part of Split was mostly built after the Second World War in the times of communist Yugoslavia, and it's not very charming nor interesting. Most of the historic city center is based on the ruins of Diocletian's palace, and it is very compact. Here you'll find most attractions. Historic city center ends with beautiful waterfront known as Riva. All this means you should look for your room in the historic city center or as close as possible. This way there will be no need for public transport and you'll be able to walk everywhere. The historic city center offers a lot of charm, but at the peak of the season, streets are full of people day and night. If you need some peace and quiet, this area might not be the best option. If you look for your accommodation just slightly outside the historic core, you'll find many peaceful and quiet streets. The most charming is the old neighborhood called Varoš, nestled between the historic city center and the beautiful forest park. On the shore of this neighborhood are also new, attractive developments. For best accommodation options in Split, you can also check my links in the description below the video. Most of the historic city center is housed within the walls of Diocletian Palace, and it is very compact. Streets are narrow and the entire area is a pedestrian-only zone. Walking is the easiest, fastest and most pleasant way to get around. It takes only about 10 to 15 minutes to get from one end to another, but it will probably take you much longer since every step is so charming, full of history, and you will also get lost for a while in the labyrinth of ancient windy streets. Public transport system in Split is limited to city buses. City buses number 9 and 15 are connecting the main bus station with the rest of the city, and they also stop at the ferry port. City buses run from 5 AM to midnight and service is frequent. The main station for all city buses is across from the National Theatre. Taxis in Split don't cruise around, but they wait at taxi stations. You can radio for a taxi or use Uber. If you want to travel between eastern and western part of the historic city center, you have to avoid the historic core, so don't be surprised if your taxi driver appears to be going around in circles. In wintertime, temperatures in Split hover around 10 degrees centigrade or 50 Fahrenheit, and it is way too chilly to take a dip in the sea. This is the time of low season, with no crowds and with lowest prices. From April to June, temperatures started to rise up, and gradually the number of visitors increases. In June, sea gets warm enough for a dip. July to mid-September represents the peak of the tourist season. Weather is hot, sea is at its warmest, the prices are the highest, and the crowds are the greatest. From second part of September to the end of October, temperatures are dropping, crowds are gone, but sea still remains warm enough. In my opinion, the best times to visit Split are in May and June and in September and October, when the number of tourists is low, prices are reasonable, weather is not too hot, and Adriatic Sea is warm enough. It's good to know that the Day of St. Dominus, Split's protector, takes place on 7th of May. It brings thousands of pilgrims, believers, and other friends of Split. You can either avoid it or enjoy it. If you want to party with big international crowd, there is a great electronic music festival in July called Ultra Europe. It attracts world's most famous performers and up to 100,000 people from around the world. July and August are time of famous Split Summer Festival, theater, dance and music festival with more than 50 years of tradition. But no matter when you decide to visit Split, just take a walk on its beautiful waterfront or its ancient city streets, or visit one of its many galleries and museums, and you will never be bored. If you like this video, give us thumbs up. If you have any questions, experiences, ideas, recommendations, or even your own tips and tricks about Split, please leave it in the comments section below. And please, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This way, you will help us create more videos like this one. Thanks for watching and see you next time.